Welcome everybody to another episode of this startup show. Today we are back here in Zurich with Stan, the co-founder of Dalou, and I'm very pleased to meet with him here.
I'm very pleased to.
Welcome everybody to another episode today here in Zurich with the founder of Dalou. Well, Stan, take it away and give us a little bit of background about yourself.
So myself, I'm French, born and raised in Paris until I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
But then I've been lucky. We've been living in Holland with my family, also in Belgium. And then I went to study in the UK. So I've been living in various...
All over the world. All of Europe.
And yes, also I've been living more than a year in Chile, South America. So I got to explore a little bit this continent. And now arriving in Zurich to launch this new startup. I'm really passionate about, doing my own projects. I've been working in different companies in the past, big companies, MNCs, like for example, I was working in finance in KPMG, also in some other big companies like General Mills. But I really realized that, entrepreneurship and doing my own projects, starting from nothing and trying to get something started. It's a bit hard sometimes because you're always in this uncertainty, but that's what I really like. Mm-hmm. So by myself, it's really what I like to do.
Right. Okay, so let's go right into your startup. So tell us a little bit about it.
So Dalou, it's a breakfast delivery company. We deliver breakfast to offices, so we only focus our business with other businesses, so B2B service. And it was launched in London in January this year. It was launched there for about 3 months with my partner Vladimir. And basically he wanted to test the concept. Himself, he was working in Foodora before. Maybe you've heard of this startup. It's now a rocket internet venture. It's one of the biggest food delivery company, which was created during the battle with Deliveroo, Take It Easy, Uber Eats. Basically last year was a big battle, who would get the market share. And so he was working in Foodora in this moment, and after this experience, in Berlin actually, he decided to go to London to finish his studies and at the same time to launch a new business, because he realized that there was one issue. It was the food delivery for companies. Mm-hmm. The Foodora, Deliveroo are really focused B2C for the end consumers, but he said there's no easy and efficient way to provide good catering service to companies. Mm-hmm. So he came back to London to finish his studies, but at the same time he launched Dalou. I was not there at that time. There was another co-founder. So he created the idea, launched in January, tested the market there, tested the concept, and it went really well actually in London. But then for some reason, actually the reasons are basically the other founder preferred to get a more stable job. Mm-hmm. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Some people prefer to have this comfort of having a job from another company, being employed, and at the same time they also had their master thesis to finish. So they decided to stop the company for a while, to put it on hold, although it was really working pretty well. And that's how I arrived. Mm-hmm. So we discussed with my partner Vlad of the concept and stuff. We actually redefined it based on the experience we got in London, and we decided to relaunch in London in September. And now you're going to ask me, why Zurich?
Yeah.
Well, I think there was 2 main reasons. Obviously, the first one was being selected in Kickstart. We didn't see it coming. To be honest, we were quite focused on London since the idea had been tested there. And when we got this interview with Kickstart, we were like, yeah, why not do it? We've got nothing to lose, but we still had in mind let's do London. And actually, when we got selected, we were like, oh my god, it's funny,
it's happening.
We didn't expect it, and then we looked at the Kickstart, we looked at the Swiss market, especially in Zurich. We really really thought deeply about whether it would be good for us to come to Zurich, or in a way a waste of time, since we were already launched in London. And Zurich appeared to be a very good city. It's not that big. There's a big international community. It's a working place for a lot of people. A lot of people from everywhere come to Zurich to work in different sectors. It's quite small. Of course, that there's a good quality of life, one of the best in the world. And because of the help of the Kickstart, the mentorship, all the master classes, this program is honestly impressive. Right? Really is bringing a lot. So we thought, it's a 10-week program. Let's do it. And let's launch in Zurich.
Yeah.
So we're now working we've been working for the past 3 weeks on basically developing the Swiss website. So we had a website in the UK, now we're developing the Swiss version of the website. The way we work, Dalou, is a breakfast delivery company, so we work with different partners, food partners. To give you an idea, we work with John Baker, we work with St. Jacob, we work for juices, we work with Hey Life, and other partners. So we take all these partners and then we deliver them to the office. The way we're different to other companies, like, for example, the Deliveroo or the Foodora, which I was talking about earlier, is that they only provide a platform where they put couriers in touch between restaurants and consumers. But the issue of this is that they can't really control the food, the quality of the food, and that's an issue. The way we really want to do the business, and we are doing it, is by centralizing the operations. So all the products, we get them in the morning in our centralized kitchen, where we do the packaging and everything. And it's also a good way to check the food. We really provide food which is of quality, and also we work with local partners. That's important for us. And talking more about how the system works, and also the way we're different to other food delivery service, is now for companies, it's very easy for them to organize a breakfast for a team meeting, or when a client comes, organize a breakfast with them. And why is that? It's because we've developed a invitation-based system. So basically, if you're an employer or a manager and you say, okay, for my team, I want to do a breakfast, the only thing you have to do is go on our website, decide, okay, how many people will be in the breakfast, what is the budget per head, so per participant of the breakfast, and you pay, and that's it. You just need to invite the people. So the way you invite them is simply by entering the email address, and the participants, they receive this invitation. Well, you've been invited to this breakfast meeting, choose what you want. And they will have a link where they can choose
from the menu.
From the menu, and they can choose what they want. So that means it's personalized breakfast because you choose really what you want to eat. That's really cool. The manager doesn't have to run around the office and say, okay, what do you want? Write everything down on a piece of paper, or send the secretary or the assistant to go to whichever local shop which is down the street, and I've seen the devil wears Prada. You're like working with like so many coffees. Yeah, I mean, it's a really simple way for both managers and for employees, or for the people who are going to participate in the breakfast. They can choose what they want. And on top of that, there's no waste. If you think about it, like when they usually organize like big catering events, or they just say, okay, we're going to go we're going to go for 25 gib fillets, but they don't know. It's an average, number. They don't really know. So first, it's costly because they don't put a price exactly on per head, but it's more like a general price. And on top of that, there's always leftovers. And leftovers, well, where does it end up? Always in the bin. So we really work on this personalized breakfast that also provides no waste. Our packaging is also very minimalist and very eco-friendly. We work with only mostly paper and recycled paper, stuff like that. And so that's the business idea, and we're happy to say that we're soft launching next week. Yeah. So if you go on dalou.ch, DLOU, you'll find our website, and we're launching with a few partners, with a few clients. We're very happy about that.
Sounds exciting. So tell me a little bit about. I'd like to ask about the startup environment, and especially when you can compare between the UK and Switzerland. Yeah. How do you feel? What is different in these two places?
In my opinion, I've been testing two different startup environments. I wouldn't say really in the UK, but I would say more in Chile. Because when I was working in Chile, as I said, I was working in KPMG, but I left my job 2 months after because I was like, no, this is not for me. And I actually worked for a startup which was part of a program, an incubator called Startup Chile. So I really had an insight for 6 months on what the environment of a startup. And now I can compare it with the Swiss one. I have to say the Swiss one, I mean, this Kickstarter, as I said earlier, it's really impressive how good it is. It provides us, it really is like, there's no bullshit. Like they say, we do the master classes, we do this, we do that, and they actually do it. When I was in Chile, I don't want to criticize, but in a way, it was a bit less serious. We were a lot of startups all together in one program, and I guess it was a bit less organized, and we were given less mentorship and we had less support. So really, this Swiss accelerator based in Zurich, this one is amazing. I wouldn't be really able to tell about the other startup ecosystem or all over Switzerland because I haven't been there. At least about this
here in Zurich. Well, that's always interesting, and that's something that is interesting for all my viewers to hear is what other ecosystems can offer. So that's definitely interesting. Yeah. So one of the things that what would you advise, let's say, an aspiring entrepreneur if he would ask you for the one advice?
Well, be prepared to work really hard on your project.
Define hard. I don't like hard because everyone works hard, but if you love what you do, then it's not hard work.
Well, to give you an idea, like this week we work every day until midnight, and it goes super fast. That's the good thing about your startup, is because you usually don't see the time going.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you still work basically. I mean, here in Zurich, we just work and sleep. That's pretty much it. And you have to be prepared for this.
Yes.
And so to be prepared for this, you better be sure that you're passionate about your project. If you're not passionate about your project, what's the point of it? So really, make sure that if you start a venture, be sure you're sure it's going to work. Be sure you're passionate about it. Yeah, I think that's the main thing for entrepreneurs. We get.
Very good. So thank you very much, Stan, for giving us a little bit of insights about yourself and your startup. Thank you very much, everyone who watched and gave me their attention and gave us some minutes of their time to watch this startup. And thank you very much. Have a good day, and I see you very soon with another episode. Have a good day, everyone.
Yeah.